Hello and welcome to Community Conversations. I'm your host, KK Konashiro. In our second of two programs featuring members of Fremont Unified's class of 2017, we are happy to welcome 4 more high school seniors who will soon be taking the stage to receive their diplomas. Yay! Their graduation ceremonies are the culmination of 4 years of hard work and accomplishments in and out of the classrooms. And we are excited to hear how they got to where they are today. And joining me, of course, is our favorite co-host, Dr. Jim Morris. But I'd like to take a minute, and could you introduce yourself and say what high school you're with?
Yes, my name is Sinead Anai, and I am from Washington High School.
Great.
I'm Christopher Ha, and I'm from Mission San Jose High School.
Okay.
My name is Mox Jawa, and I'm from Washington High School.
Okay. Now, when you guys came onto your school campus back when you were a freshman, did you think that high school would be gone so fast, or was it slow for you, or how was it for you?
Well, I actually stepped onto Washington's campus a bit earlier when I was in 8th grade, and I came in as part of our leadership program.
Okay.
So I was interning, or I was a class officer, so I came a bit earlier because I had an older sister that also went to Washington. So seeing how quickly it went for her, I did expect it to go quickly, but definitely not that quickly. Yeah, of course.
For me, my junior high school years were really impactful on me, and they felt like it was only 2 years, but it felt like a really long time. So I felt like high school was gonna be this long, dreaded haul.
Because it's 4 years.
Exactly, it's twice a month.
Yeah.
And was it?
It has some brief moments of extremely fast times where a whole month would snap by, and other times it was like I was dragging my feet.
Most?
I think I definitely agree. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and say it was both. There are moments where it just went by, now that I've made it past 4 years, it definitely flew by. But there were moments, those late nights or those test after test after test when you're like, can this go any slower? But, it's been one of the best experiences of my life. And,
Oh, good.
time flies when you're having fun. So
Yes, yes. Now, as graduation is around the corner for you, what's going through your mind right now?
Wow.
Is it excitement?
it's a deep question.
Yeah. Sorry.
For me, I think it's interesting because I just had my senior night for leadership that I was just talking about. So it's odd because everything is coming to a close, and it's interesting because am very excited for what's coming next, but as I'm thinking about graduating soon, it's very nerve-wracking, to be honest, but I'm excited for what's next. But often I think, have I done enough? Have I impacted my school enough? Have I done enough for the community? Things like that.
Wow.
But it's very much, either I have or I haven't, and I decide whether I have or haven't. So
Just go with it.
Exactly, just go with it. But overall, I think it's mostly, for our class especially, it's very much a feeling of excitement mostly.
Good. Christopher?
I'm rather satisfied, actually. I felt like I've got the whole high school experience. I've been part of almost every spirit rally. I've done a lot of sports. I've done academics, and I'm slowly dragging through that. I'm really happy to be done with that. So right now, I'm just focusing on spending time with my friends, focusing on the relationships that is going to be kind of hard to maintain from a long distance. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to enjoy my friends.
Good.
For me, I think it's a lot of reflection because actually in 8th grade, I went to a private school, and coming back to Washington, I didn't know a lot of my classmates. I didn't know everyone around me. And, when you start at 9th grade, you always imagine, 4 years from now or 3 years from now, how you're going to be. And I don't think I ever imagined things turning out the way they did. So it's a lot of reflection for me and just thinking about how, according to a lot of my friends and, teachers and even my parents, there's like a day-night difference between who I was in 9th grade and who I am today.
Like what?
Like, I think that, high school has made me a lot more of a confident, a more outgoing, definitely a more enthusiastic person. So I think just that change that, maybe I don't realize in my day-to-day life, but it's a little bit about thinking about how high school has impacted me and how I can use everything I've learned in high school and kind of the personality that I've shaped in high school in the future as well.
Well, that's great.
Yep.
How do you think you guys have changed since being a freshman to now you're a senior?
I'd have to say I changed probably a lot my personality. Definitely starting out just like Mosh, I was quite quiet, and I really like to stick to the same friend group. But as I went through my years, I definitely wanted to branch out more. I wanted to meet new people, and I definitely wanted to try new things.
Good.
Yeah. It's, like Mook said, it's a very deep question, but I definitely think that I'm a better version of who I was. I don't think I've changed too much, but I think I'm definitely more confident, definitely more willing to talk to new people and garner new experiences, because over the years I've been able to gradually get better at accepting new things. So I think I'm much more susceptible to change than I was before, which is something that I think
Nice.
I think that'll be very important going into college. So. Yes.
And for the rest of your life.
And the rest of my life.
And
yes.
the rest of your life. Okay, so who are your favorite teachers or staff members at your school? Yeah, another deep question.
Actually, that one's actually kind of easy for me. I didn't actually have this teacher, but his name is Mr. Melsick. He teaches 9th grade honors bio. I took regular bio my freshman year, so I never had him actually. But in my sophomore, junior, and senior year, I spent a lot of time in his classroom because so many of my friends, they loved him so much. And I learned to love him as well, even though he was never my teacher. When I took AP Bio in junior year, I actually asked him for a lot of help, and he tutored me through a lot of the subjects. And he made me love bio, and that's actually what my major is going to be in college.
Nice, nice.
So when you asked that question, like so many names, through my head, my first question was, is there a limit? So
Yeah.
I'll try to keep it brief, but I think both through administration and through teachers, a lot of them have impacted me a lot, and I've gotten to know a lot of them on a personal basis,
nice.
which is something I actually never imagined in high school. I always thought, there's kind of a wall between
Yeah.
students and teachers, it's solely like an academic relationship, but I've known these teachers personally. These are teachers, sometimes I can joke around with teachers who can help me, give me advice about things even outside of school. And some of those are Mr. Moran, our principal, Mr. Jan, Mr. Ho, Mr. Bullard, Mr. Wu. All of these different teachers have supported me a lot, and
Nice.
there's so many more who have too, but I think that the reason these teachers really stood out for me is these are teachers I got to know outside of just the classroom. They were able to give me a lot of advice, whether it was one day where I was just a little bit stressed out, or there was one day when, I was just feeling a little bit down. They were always there to support me and guide me, because these are people with years more experience than me, and I thought it was great to be able to learn from them, just outside of academic, but also about social things and
Nice.
personality.
Yeah. Sinead?
Yeah, same as Moksh when you asked that question. So many names flooded to my mind, but there's one in particular, and her name is Sharon Jones, Mrs. Jones, excuse me, at Washington. She was my English teacher last year, and I told her this today, but she really is the epitome of all that an educator should be. And she is not only intelligent, but she is passionate about what she does. She influences her students, and because she is genuinely invested in us, for me, I wanted to do better for her, and I always wanted to learn from her and make sure that I always made her proud, and always made sure that the time that she invested in me was well paid off.
Good.
So she's definitely someone whom I will appreciate forever.
Nice.
And that's such a beautiful summary, I think,
Yes.
that all three of you have given. It really is. We have so many good teachers in our school district who really care and give so much, but the ones that are so special are the teachers who saw something in you that you didn't realize was there, and the folks who went out of their way, above and beyond, just to help you and give you that hand
Yes.
up. And it's so nice that all three of you kind of gave that same reflection, because there are so many of our staff members who don't hear that, who don't get that reinforcement for the hard work that they do.
Yeah, so thank you for saying so. Now, the qualities that you have in these special teachers of yours, do you think you'll take those qualities into your future lives and pass it on?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm actually very interested in education. One of my goals is, a couple of years from now, I eventually want to become a teacher, actually. And
Nice.
I think I want to take a lot of these qualities, because one thing that I realized from the help I got from my teachers is the best part of teaching is the personal satisfaction that you get from helping other people, and, as Dr. Moore said, bringing them up. And that's something that I want to experience as well. So I think I've learned a lot from my teachers, and they're my role models. I want to be just like my teachers, and I want to have students who are able to be in the same situation as I am today, where they can say that they were positively influenced by their teachers, and that shaped who they became or what they did in the future.
Great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Future employee.
Yeah. Oh, he knows. He's got a job whenever he's ready.
Okay, good to know. So what are your favorite memories of high school?
Oh my goodness.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there are so many, but for me, Washington is pretty well known for its Spirit Week.
Yes.
And there are so many things about each Spirit Week that I've experienced, but this past Senior Spirit Week in October was by far the absolute best. Because our class is very close already. We're pretty tight-knit. So we were able to rally before dawn, 4 a.m.
Oh
we
my
were at
gosh.
school. No, it was the best. But even before that, for weeks, we were practicing skits. We were making props. We were recording voices for our skits, making huge 30-feet backdrops.
Wow.
Crazy things like that. But it's all about getting together with your class and creating a great sense of community at the beginning of the year. So not to mention like things like homecoming court and again, like rallying with teachers, things like that. So definitely this past Spirit Week
That's
for me.
great.
Yeah.
Christopher?
I have to agree with Shanae. Homecoming week was definitely by far the best experience. Unlike her class though, mine was pretty spread out, but as we came to the rally, we really came together and it really was amazing. And for me personally, I've never been a dancer in my life though, but some of my friends actually asked me to join ballroom dancing and haka, and I really stepped out of my comfort zone here, and
Yes.
being up on that stage and just doing every single move that you've been practicing for weeks and weeks
Yes.
on stage, everyone cheering you on,
Yeah.
it feels amazing. Homecoming was absolutely the best experience of my high school career.
That's great. Well,
And for me, it was, I think, one moment where I got a lot of support from a lot of people that, you know, came out of nowhere, kind of hit me by surprise. So I'm part of an organization called DECA, and I was running to become the state president, actually. And the moment I announced my campaign, the amount of support I got, we had about 100 Washington students attending our state conference. But not just that, there were so many people who were back at school, even when, I was in San Diego campaigning, they were back at school. And, I'm getting messages from people. People
Wow.
are calling me saying, do you need me to talk to anyone for you? Do you need any support?
Nice.
And that was one of the best experiences of my life. It was one of the most exciting moments, and it made me feel like, I really could do anything. And that's something that, I really try to give other people as well, because I think it's a lot of give and take in high school. And I think those are the best memories, when either you're supporting and helping someone get up there or you're getting up there yourself.
Right.
It's those moments when you're right there at the top that really will stick with you forever.
Absolutely. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so let's get down to it. What do you want to be when you grow up? Where are you going to college? What are you going to study?
I've actually gotten all that figured out.
Wow.
Can I be
No
you?
wonder you're so
Want to
confident.
share it with us?
So I want to be a pharmacist when I grow up.
Okay.
I'm attending UOP University.
Nice.
I am studying pre-pharmacy there, and hopefully I will get accepted to the pharmacy school or a different one outside.
Okay.
And where did that come from? Where
Yeah.
did the passion or the idea come from?
Well, at a young age, my parents, they influenced me to help other people, and I knew from a very young age I wanted to go into healthcare. My sister is becoming a dentist, and after shadowing her a bit and some other dentists, I found out I don't like sticking my hands in people's mouths. I felt that medical school was too taxing and too much schooling. And then a couple of my cousins and a couple of my friends, they became pharmacists. I shadowed them, and I found out that's my dream job.
Oh,
and, I
nice.
figured it out really early. Yeah.
That's great.
Great.
How about you?
So I am attending New York University.
New York.
Yes.
Wow.
NYU Steinhardt is my school. So I am majoring in education studies.
Okay.
So more like education policy, education administration, global education, the impact of globalization and things like that. So I aspire to attend law school. So hopefully to be an education attorney is the ultimate goal, but
That's
that may
great.
change by the time I finish undergrad.
She could run for office.
So
That'd be great.
yeah, no, I've been lucky to work with Dr. Morris with Students United for the representation of Fremont Board of Education and
Nice.
sit on as student member. So having that chance has definitely shaped what I want to do.
But New York, that's awesome.
I'm very excited, yeah.
How about you? Where are you going?
I'm going to the University of Pennsylvania.
Wow.
And I'll be
A lot of snow there.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for that. But I'll be in part of the Jerome Fisher program in management and technology.
Okay.
So in 4 years, I'll be enrolled in the engineering school, getting a computer science degree, and also enrolled in the Wharton School of Business,
Wow.
getting a degree in entrepreneurial management.
That's 2 jobs.
Yep.
Okay, just saying.
Getting
Okay.
started early. So one of my, there's a lot of things I want to do in my future, but 2 things that stick out in particular are, one, I really want to go into entrepreneurship. I'm a big fan of solving problems, and everywhere around here in Fremont and in the entire Silicon Valley, a lot of things run on the idea of solving problems.
Yes.
And that's something that I want to do, and I think with college, learning both the business and the technological side of things will give me a good opportunity to take my stab at that.
Okay.
And then education has always been an interest of mine. So even in college, I want to take classes about education, understand the psychology behind it, immerse myself in
okay.
education as much as possible, because I think there's a really cool combination of, entrepreneurship and education.
Yes.
And I think that there's a lot of innovation that can come to education. So that's the space I want to be in, and hopefully one day even a teacher here at Fremont.
I'm counting on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for the freshmen that are coming in next year, do you have any advice for them? Because you have, I can see it, you have bloomed from being a freshman, and now you are this humongous flower senior graduating from high school. What would you say to these new freshmen coming in? Experience everything, join every club, or how would you, because they're shy, and going into high school is intimidating and overwhelming.
Yeah.
So what would you say to them?
There's a will, there's a way. If there's a study guide, there's an A.
That's awesome.
So really do study hard. It's going to feel, Moksh said it at the beginning of this, it's going to feel like there are days that feel like years, but you will get through it. Everything will be fine. And no matter how much you worry about, whether it's college admissions, future plans, lack thereof, you will work it out. Everything will be fine.
Good. Christopher?
I agree with her. Studying is important, but I think mission's got that down. I'd have to say, for me, I was really scared of change. I was scared of how the people around me were changing and how personally I was changing.
Yeah.
And I would encourage freshmen to encourage that as well, to explore themselves and really find out who they are and who the type of people they want to be around. It took me a long time to figure out who I was and the
Right.
people I want to be around. So I
Okay.
hope they find an easy transition.
Good. Moshk?
For me, I think there's two statements that really go hand in hand that I'm trying to stick to now. One is go with the flow, and two is everything that happens for good. And I think that
I like that.
Yeah. And I think my experience in high school have actually taught me those two statements and taught me to believe in them. And I think that, with high school, with any journey, there's a lot of ups and downs. There's good days, there are bad days. And I think one of the best things that I would recommend to freshmen is to really embrace those. And, there's always a positive side of everything. And I think it's just up to you to find it. And, regardless of, how low you are, you can always go back up. And I think that's something
Yes.
that if I knew going into high school, things would be even more different. But I'm glad I learned it.
Good. Well, I congratulate all of you. I know you're going to fix the world for us because we're tired. Okay? Congratulations. Thanks for being on the show. Thank you, Dr. Morris, for being here. And from everyone here at Community Conversations, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.